our studio in Nathaniel Hall, Boston is the WFTN Channel 4 6 p.m. Colonial News.
Good evening. This is Lauren Kerr for Colonial News. The major story tonight is a new development in the 3-month siege of Quebec by British forces.
Hello, I'm Sophia Pascalius. Reports from Canada tonight are about a major British victory in the battle for Quebec. Here at Channel 4, we have live coverage of yesterday's battle.
We'll bring you that story as well as sports with Beef Offringa and weather with Sarah Cook and Robin Williams after this commercial message.
Hello, this is Jennifer Hines.
Hi, I'm Christy Asberg, and we are the owners of Book It Bookstore. Here at our store, you find every book you want and more. We have biographies from Copley, Wigglesworth, and Bradstreet.
Most of our books have been printed right here in the colony by the famous printer Benjamin Franklin. In fact, we also sell copies of Explorer Richard's Almanac.
At Book It Bookstore, we have the lowest prices you'll find anywhere in the colonies, but our books are printed with the highest quality. You won't find a better selection of books anywhere in Boston, not even in any of the colonies. You'd have to go to London to find a better selection of books.
Our store is located across from Paul Revere's Silver Shop in Boston, Common. Come on down and look around.
Last night, in a major victory, British forces led by James Wolfe took over Quebec. This battle was obtained because a path up the cliffs up the St. Lawrence River was left unguarded. Shortly we'll take you to the scene of the battle.
The siege of Quebec has been going on for quite some time, and this victory comes after it appeared the French in Quebec would be able to hold out until winter ice and snow would force Wolfe and the British to leave.
For some background on this very important battle, let's turn to news reporter Monique Ritter, who will explain the siege for us.
The Battle for Quebec began this year in June of 1759 when the British Navy sailed up the St. Lawrence River and landed men on Orleans Island. From there and from across to the Franklin Valley, the British bombed the city of Quebec. Though the town has almost been totally destroyed, the French forces held out all summer. British forces landed at Montmorency Falls in July. This attack was beaten off. In August, the British Navy managed to go up the river past Quebec. After a long siege, it looks like General Wolfe finally found a way to attack and gain this victory.
We now take you to the scene of the battle and reporter Abigail Shapiro.
It's Abigail Shapiro live on the shore of the St. Lawrence River, looking up the cliff towards the city. General Wolfe searched all summer for a way up this cliff, and he finally spotted this path. He led his soldiers up at early Thursday morning. The path leads to the Plains of Abraham just outside the city. It seems the French have guarded it with less than 30 men. We will now show you our live view of the battle as it was filmed by cameraman Tiffany Simmons, who's been with the British forces all summer.
General Wolfe orders are for absolute silence under penalty of death. Scouts go first to silence any guards at the top.
Oh, it's frightening.
There's only one question.
Keep shooting.
Are you gonna get the thing? These are not my clothes. The pants are so.
General Wolf orders you to take your men to the north side of the plains and look for enemy troops.
Yes, sir. Following after me, men.
Infantry, fall in. Form two lines. Check bayonets. Fifes and drums sound the beat. Forward march.
Ready, aim, fire! Look, General Wolf's been hit! Keep fighting, men! Charge! Look, they're running!
One.
I need some right here.
There he is.
The total battle lasted less than 15 minutes, by which time the French forces were routed and the city opened for capture. Early reports have been confirmed. Both General Wolfe and French General Montcalm were wounded in the battle. Wolfe died while rallying his troops to victory, and Montcalm died today of his wounds. We now switch you to our reporters upon the Plains of Abraham.
This is reporter Dan Pillow speaking to Major John Stater of His Majesty's Army. Major, how is this victory accomplished?
Well, we climbed up the path early in the morning and took the French by surprise.
Do you know how many casualties there are?
No, not yet. There are quite a few wounded soldiers and many dead. I know that General Wolfe is dead.
Did you see him or French General Montcalm get shot?
As you can guess, I was very busy during the battle, but I did see Wolfe get shot. He was very brave, and even though he was wounded, he encouraged us to keep fighting.
Does Quebec belong to England now?
Not quite yet, Dan. The French soldiers have retreated. As soon as the city surrenders, we will probably chase them. We should take over the city very soon.
Thank you for your time, Major Stata. And now over to you, Nicole.
This is reporter Nicole Houston talking to Ranger Andrew Samness. Sir, what is a ranger and what was your role in the battle?
I am a woodsman that fights for the British. I can fight wearing anything and in any condition. I am not afraid of either French or Indians. All of us Rangers love to fight, so the British want us to fight Indians and to be scouts. Our leader, Robert Rogers, comes from Massachusetts. During the battle, I led a company of Rangers. We fought the Huron Indians hiding in the bushes.
What will you do now?
We have to scout out the area around Montreal to defeat the French and Indians there. Then maybe this war will be over and we can go home to Massachusetts and the other colonies.
Thank you, Ranger Samness. Now over to you, Chris.
This is Report Chris Thurston. We're standing with wounded British soldier Michael Kishman, who claims to have killed the French General Montcalm. Private, how were you wounded in this battle?
After we reached the plains and the fighting started, one of them heathen Huron Indians that fights for them Frenchies shot me in the shoulder with an arrow.
Yet you claim you killed the French general?
You bet I did. I just reloaded my musket when I seen his fancy uniform. I knew it was enough, so I aimed and fired. He went down, so I knew I hit him.
Thank you, Private. Our spies in Quebec tell us that French General Montcalm died this morning of his wounds. Now back to Sophie and Mona, our news desk in Boston. Thank you.
This victory will probably lead to some big changes in Boston and the rest of the colonies. As many of us know, our victory began with our new Prime Minister, William Pitt. Shortly, we'll go live to London to interview him.
We'll also speak to publisher Benjamin Franklin, the man who warned the Pennsylvanians of Indian attacks in 1748. Most of us remember him from 1752, when he discovered that the fascinating thing that we call lightning is red electricity.
Now we'll take you to reporter Sarah Pinckney in Virginia.
Hi, this is Sarah Pinckney reporting for Colonial News. We're here at Mount Vernon, Virginia to speak to Colonel George Washington, who saved the British forces at Fort Duquesne. Colonel Washington was the one who tried to show British General Braddock the way the French and Indians fight. After the death of General Braddock, Colonel Washington led our troops back to safety in Virginia after the defeat at Fort Duquesne. Colonel Washington, do you think French will have to give up Canada now?
Well, yes. First we'll have to take over Montreal. Then they'll surrender.
Sir, do you think the colonies will have to change?
They'll change all right. They'll start putting up houses beyond the Appalachian Mountains. Pretty soon, they'll be on the other side of the continent.
Colonel, do you think the British government will change?
Yes, they might tax the colonies to pay for the war expenses.
Colonel, do you think colonies in Britain will get along?
They probably will not agree on the taxes. That might cause trouble later on.
Do you think you know why they won't get along and live together?
I didn't say we wouldn't. We can't get along, Sarah. We are all British subjects of King George, and we do have the same laws and customs.
Thank you, Colonel Washington. Now to our reporter in London.
Hi, this is Jake Porter reporting from London, England with Prime Minister William Pitt. Mr. Pitt, how has becoming Prime Minister helped Britain?
I decided to win this war, we must capture all our French and in Canada, so I sent our Navy with General Wolfe and the soldiers to do this.
Do you think the war is almost over now?
No, we still have to catch Montreal yet.
How will North America change when Britain rules all of Canada?
The language will all be the same, English, and now Britain can take over the French fur trade.
Do you see any problems after Britain wins the war?
We will have a problem paying for the war. We might have to raise taxes. Also, we have to talk to the Indians to get them peaceful. We want them to stop scalping our colonists west of the Appalachian Mountains.
Thank you, Mr. Pitt. Now to our reporter in Pennsylvania.
Hello, this is reporter Jennifer Lighthouse in the Pennsylvania colony. I am at the home of publisher, author, and inventor Benjamin Franklin. Mr. Franklin, what do you make of the reports that British forces won a great battle at Quebec?
I am very happy because this means the war may soon be over. Now the French fur trade to the west near Fort Pitt will belong to the British.
How else will the end of the war help our 13 colonies?
Once we British make peace with the French, we should be able to settle down the Indians west of the Appalachian Mountains. Then settlements can really grow in that area.
Do you see any problems in the future?
No, I don't think so. As long as King George and the British Parliament are fair to us colonists, and we obey the English laws, we'll be all right.
Thank you, sir. Now back to the news desk in Boston.
Thanks, Jennifer. We will be right back with Sarah and Robin after this commercial message.
This is Jennifer and Jennifer again. Come on down to Gabriele Forge. Get a new trained Mustang for $2 down and 20 a year. Get a new black stallion, Palomino, or Galloping horse, each for only $16 a year. Come on down and take a look around. If you like a horse, we will give you a free test drive. We promise you'll love our horses. If you ever have any problems, we guarantee to give you your money back. Our stables are located just outside Boston, just a short walk or ride from Bunker Hill or Charleston. So come on down to Gabriele Forge.
This is the meteorologist, it's Ron Williams.
And Sarah Cook reporting.
Here in Boston, on Friday, September 14, 1759, it is 50 degrees Fahrenheit and rainy. The wind is coming from the east. For our farmers, we predict that it will rain at least 1/4 of an inch.
It will be cloudy in the western part of our colony. It will stop raining tomorrow with high temperatures in the 50s. For Saturday and Sunday, highs will stay in the 50s with overnight lows in the upper 40s. Saturday should bring good weather for harvesting our apples.
It will be cooler in the colonies and a little rain will also fall in Florida. Here are some temperatures around the colonies. It is 56 degrees in New York City, 51 degrees in Philadelphia, 49 degrees in Baltimore, and 60 degrees in Charleston.
And now to Colonial News sportscaster Beef Marigo for the sports.
Hello, this is Steve Beef Offringa on sports for Colonial News. Today, in the Colonial Cricket League, the New York Dukes lost to the New Jersey Flyers with a score of 9-6. In the game, Will Smithson had 5 hits and 6 at-bats for the Dukes. Also in today's action, the Massachusetts Majors beat the North Carolina Cricket 6-5, and the Connecticut Cutters defeated the South Carolina Clippers 11-10. There are 3 games scheduled in the Lacrosse League today. The Boston Beavers battled out the Delaware Turkeys with a score of 12-10. The Baltimore Brown Bears defeated the New York Patriots 9-5, and the Georgia Yellow Jackets overcame the Virginia Burgesses 13-9. The football games today were New York over Boston 4-2, Baltimore over Rhode Island 6-3, and the North Carolina Stars routed the South Carolina Saints 8-5. Newsflash, just in. There will be no games in any league tomorrow in the colonies due to celebrations after the marvelous victory at Quebec. Injury report for today. In cricket, Peter Cook sprained his ankle, and Arthur Gibson has a fractured knee. There were no major injuries in football or lacrosse. That's it for tonight's sportscast. This is Steve B. Offringa saying so long for Colonial News Sports.
Hello. Welcome to Fabric and Fine News, where we sell you any color type of cloth that you need for a very low price. We have all types of cloth from flax to wool. We have cloth from the colonies as well as from France and England.
If you don't find what you need right away, we assure you that we will help you get it. Our silk cloth is the best service anywhere in the colonies. It is very fancy and smooth. For the working people in Boston, we have the very best sturdy types of cloth.
Price is never a problem. We will cut the price for you if you are willing to pay the rest later. You can even look in the back of our store because we have lots more back there.
Please come to our store, which is 1 block east of the Holy North Church in the center of Boston. Thank you.
Monique, what do you think yesterday's victory really means?
It will change history. If France were to win this war, all of North America to the Spanish possessions would become French. But now, France will have to give up all its land on this continent. Once the Indians are calmed down, our colonies will really be able to grow westward. England may still need to pay for war expenses, but that should work out. The future looks great for our 13 colonies.
Thanks, Monique. For all of us at WFGN Channel 4 Colonial News, good night. Join us again tomorrow for the 6 p.m. news.
This battle did change history. Canada and other French lands in North America were given to Great Britain when the Peace Treaty of Paris was signed in 1764. Today, the United States and Canada share a common language, heritage, and many customs. More importantly, the end of the French and Indian War changed the relationship of the 13 colonies and Great Britain. Disagreements over taxes, government representation, new settlements in Indian lands, and defense of the colonies led to an even more important war just 12 years later, the American War for Independence. So, the battle for Quebec was a turning point for the 13 colonies as they became the first 13 states in the United States of America.
Special announcer, Tiffany Simmons. Newscasters, Lauren Kerr and Sophia Pascalides. Special news correspondent, Monique Ritter. Sportscaster and French officer, Steve Wieringa. Meteorologists, Robin Williams and Sarah Cook. British officer and reporter, Dan DeLello. American Ranger and reporter, Abigail Shapiro. General Wolf, Jake Porta. Reporter, Jake Porta. Reporter, Nicole Hewson. Reporter, Jennifer Lighthouse. Reporter and French General Montcalm, Christopher Thurston. Reporter, Sarah Pinckney.
Oh, sorry.
British Major, John Stata. American Ranger, Andrew Siamenis. British Private, Michael Scott Kitchenman. British Officer and British Prime Minister William Pitt, Ben Cannon. Colonel George Washington, Kelly Tidd, inventor Benjamin Franklin, Julia Heatherts. Book It bookstore owners, Christy Ostberg and Jennifer Hines. Gabrielli Forge owners, Jennifer Gamber Curtis and Jennifer Lighthouse. Fabric and Finder owners, Michelle Gauze and Smiling Monet Evans. Thank you, Monet. Sound Effects Music, John Stata Drums, Flutes, Monet Evans, Sophie Pachalides, Nicole Hewson. Effects Gunfire and Smoke, Steve Wieringa, Chris Thurston, Dan DeLallo, Jake Porta, Sarah Pinkney. Prop Movement, Ben Cannon, Chris Thurston, Julia Heatherts, Jennifer Lighthouse. Assistant Director and Helper Extraordinaire, Mrs. Lynn Tidd.
Producer, scriptwriter, and director, Mr. Offringa.
You may want to check your calendars. The year is 1759. There's a battle taking place in Quebec. As Vanessa Tyler reports, the soldiers are all fourth graders.
The British are coming to take Quebec. These soldiers are armed. They're ready to battle the French and learn a history lesson in the process. Instead of pens, pencils, and books, these fourth graders from the Rochester Christian School are bridging the past with the future.
Seems like when you act it out, it's like you're there, and so you can understand more.
There may not have been boom boxes and video cameras back in 1759, but these are today's young people, and they'll watch this battle on videotape later as part of a class project.
Ready! Remember, screams, pain, agony, death, aim! Fire!
The battle was bloody, and there were fatalities. Well, almost.
I learned that war is wrong and you shouldn't fight about something that you should have just agreed to it right away.
I tried to show them that if the French had won, maybe we'd be speaking French right now. So I think that this class will definitely remember this project and this period of history for a long time to come.
When the students return to the present, they will have experienced history firsthand. It's a real-life lesson of the past as seen through the eyes of the future. Vanessa Tyler, News Team 10.
Education can be fun.
Oh, yes.
We thank you for watching.
Have a good evening.
Good night.
Muskets and the gleam of bayonets transformed Ellison Park into an 18th century battlefield this afternoon.
Tonight, our Prozac's Bright Spots shows us some school children who went to war in the name of history.
Ready? Quiet on the set.
Over the banks of the river they came, a collection of Indian scouts and British soldiers, ready to ambush the French army at the Battle of Quebec.
British people, be quiet.
These soldiers are actually fourth graders from the Rochester Christian School, reenacting this important battle from the French and Indian War as part of a first-hand social studies experience.
Fourth grade kids have a hard time visualizing history, and by reenacting the battle and reenacting interviews with famous people, it makes history come alive.
And come alive it did, with a challenging climb up the cliffs of Quebec and a choreographed and thought-provoking battle on the plains of Abraham.
It was fun because it tells you a little bit more about history.
Before we did this, we all thought war was fun, but when we really acted this out, we knew that it wasn't fun dying.
But this isn't the end of this social studies project. Tomorrow, it all gets put into a colonial newscast, complete with sports and weather and live analysis by George Washington. Dwayne Brozak, News 8.
Or Vince Bizarre.